Alright, one final video here before I turn you loose and you can start making your own stuff without my help. I'm going to create a new project and I'm going to pick my Windows format, .NET framework, yada yada yada. I'm going to call this one Games. Make sure it's in your H drive, all that good stuff. And let's go through this part really fast because I hope it's becoming familiar. So with my form selected, I'm going to change the text of my form to Games. I'm going to rename my form Games.cs. Don't get rid of that .cs. Crazy things will happen if you do that. And another good thing to do is to put an icon in. I'm not going to this time just because I just want to talk about what we need to talk about here. Okay, we're going to do some PictureBox stuff. And what I want to do is I want to display a certain picture. So I want to change the picture in this PictureBox depending on which button I've pressed. So, here's my PictureBox. And I'm going to set it like that. And I'm just going to change the back color of my form. That doesn't look much better. Sure. Black. And I want 3 buttons here. So I'll bring one button in. And I'm going to copy and paste another button. And then I'm going to copy Control-C and paste Control-V. I've got these 3 buttons. Now I've selected 3 games of my choice, and if I click one of these buttons, I want a picture from that game to display in my PictureBox. So notice I haven't chosen any picture yet in my PictureBox because I'm fine with there not being an image yet. However, I will change the size mode to zoom because it typically looks pretty decent with it. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I have a PictureBox control, so I'm going to call this one PCB, PictureBox for the game. PCB game. And for this button, if they press it, I want goated game. I want a picture of old school RuneScape to show up. That's what I'm talking about. Not RuneScape 3, because that's trash. Old school RuneScape. Only the OGs know. You can pick whatever games you want. Heck, you can pick movies. You can pick whatever. I don't care. For my second game, I'm going to choose some... Oh, it's got to be COD. Oops. Oops. Text. Call of Duty. And for my third button, let's say, oh, what the heck, a trip down memory lane. Let's put Fortnite down there. How the Mighty Have Fallen. 3 games. So I'm going to call this first button BTN RuneScape. I'll call this second button BTN COD. And I'll call this third button BTN Fortnite. Everything's named properly. Cool. So still nothing new, really, but it's good practice. Okay, so normally I would choose an image that I've downloaded, but I need to change the image. So I need to do some funny business here. So in my project, I'm going to go into my properties of my project, and I'm going to go into resources. In my folder, I have downloaded 3 images already. I'm going to click and drag them into my resources folder. And we should have 3 images now. It's not a bad idea to save your project right now whenever you throw resources in. Anyways, cool. So back on my design, I now have 3 pictures, 3 images loaded into my project. So I want to display a picture based on which button I press. So obviously if I press this first button, my old school RuneScape button, I want my RuneScape picture to show up, which is this one right here called OSRS. I've got a Fortnite image called Fortnite. I've got some OG Black Ops 1 wager matches, baby. Let's go. Called COD. All right. So let's add an event. So here's my button. I'm going to select it because I want to add an event for this button. In my events list, let's choose the click. So if I double click it, here is my method for my RuneScape button. So if I click that button, whatever I write in here is going to happen. So this is new because we have not changed the image of a picture box. So let's go ahead and do that. How do we do that? Well, my picture box is called PCB game. So I'm going to go PCB game. And I'm going to change a certain property of this picture box. What property am I going to choose or change? Well, it's going to be the image property because I'm changing which image this picture box is showing. The question is, what is it equal to? And you might be inclined to say, well, it must just be equal to the name of your picture. And if only it was that easy. It's pretty easy. So I can't just use the name of the picture, but what I can do is my picture is in the resources folder of my properties of my project. So I can go properties dot resources dot, and look, my project's properties pop up. And as you can see, there is a picture named OSRS right there. Semicolon. So this is saying change the image of your picture box to this picture, which is located in your resources of your properties. So if I run the program, let's see what happens. There we go. As soon as I click it, it finds the old school RuneScape picture in my folder, my properties, and it displays it. Now, of course, nothing else happens because I've only coded one button. So let's quickly do those 2. So now clicking on my Call of Duty button or whatever button you've chosen or game you've chosen for your project, clicking this middle button, I'm going to add a click event. And this time, I want the exact same picture box, my game picture box, to be equal to not OSRS anymore, but to be equal to my COD image. Finally, my final button, whatever button you've chosen, I'm going to select it. I'm going to add a click event by double clicking that. And if I hit this button, I want the exact same picture box to be, and look at IntelliSense, it's so smart, it even knows I want Fortnite. Bingo. So 3 events, 3 click events for those 3 buttons. And if I start my program, boom, boom, boom. I get 3 different images. Not bad, eh? Pretty cool. Look at us go. Who would have thought?